Welcome to the Dripping in Black podcast for our monthly creators drip. We celebrate Black excellence, Black creativity, and Black culture. Here are our creators, David V. Lewis and Shawn Smith.
What's up, good people all across the world? This is the Dripping in Black podcast. I am your host, David V. Lewis. And per usual, we have another fantastic lineup. It is the Creators Drip. And that lineup consists of the two creators, myself and Mr. S Squared, Shawn Smith. Shawn Smith, say hello to the world.
Hello, world. What's up? What's up?
All right. So, we got our typical things that we do with the Creators Drip, conversation-based episode. Give us a break from the interview-driven episodes that we typically do. And so we're going to begin just, kicking it a little bit. S Square, how you feeling?
I'm feeling all right, man. I've had some challenges, but I'm feeling all right. But I got to do one thing while we at this point. Sharonda Denise, I messed up her name big time because, since March is reading month, reading is fundamental. I'm reading a text and she's telling me how she taught her son how to spell her name. She didn't say that's how I say my name. It's how I spell the name. So now every time I see her or talk to her, I call her D Nice. So me not being able to read was the reason why I was mispronouncing her name. But other than that, like I said, it had some challenges and stuff like that as far as making, we need to do a blooper reel on the mistakes that's done before you get to see them. Well, you get to see some of them, but some of the major mistakes. So we had some challenges, but we get them out there.
That's a great idea. The blooper reel. We could almost do a season already with bloopers.
We're not gonna do it. We're gonna do that. We're gonna use that for our platform when we're talking about podcasting. We'll put that in the don't section or the be careful of section because we got a bunch of those. We got a bunch of those. You grow, change, and develop doing this stuff that you never done before. So so those are great. There's some great stories behind there. Stay tuned. That's coming too. How you feeling, man?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Of course, we can't get past COVID. COVID is still ever present. And as a teacher, I'm feeling the effects of that it's having on what I do as a teacher and what I'm able to do and what students are able to do or feeling up to doing. But other than that, everything else is pretty cool, man. So I thank God for how I'm feeling pretty good. Yep. So before we get into our creators conversation, let's do a month in review. How was your month since the last time we got together for the Creators Drip?
My month, like I said, it has its challenges because, like I said, if I went through all the blooper reels and the stuff that was going wrong, and from rendering videos to all types of stuff to even sickness, it was challenging, but it made me work harder because I wanted to get better at what I was doing. Work has been work. Nothing new in the education field up at the college. Nothing new on that one. Since the last time we talked, always ideas. Get to talk with the reciprocity group is always great. And the reading group, the book club, and that they always keep something going. So it's been okay, man. But I did see COVID fatigue on a lot of folks because everybody was crying to get out of town, and I understand it. I understand it, but we got to hold tight because I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm ready to go. But you know, Texas just opened up, Mississippi just opened up, so we're gonna hit another bump. I believe we're gonna hit another bump
Yeah,
again
yeah.
because
Foolishness.
folks just want to do their own thing, man. So yeah.
Yeah,
So I did see that, especially talking to my peeps and stuff like that.
yeah. Yeah, last month's been pretty good for me as well. Of course, last month was Black History Month. S Squared did a fantastic job with some special things and features, including putting some of the last strips and making them into a feature video. So
Oh,
shout out to S Squared for that. And for me, that's Black history is the subject that I love to teach the most. So when that month rolls around, it's just a great feeling, you know, to dig into more and more of our history, which is rich. You know, it's a rich history. It should be taught to everybody. I think
oh yeah.
it will go a long way in addressing a lot of the issues that we have in this country if
Oh
it was a
yeah.
mandatory
Um,
subject that was taught in the schools, so that they can really see the value of what we've provided to the globe, not just America. But that's a whole nother subject for
yeah, and well, yeah, we need
another
to talk about that,
podcast.
right?
Yeah.
Urban Educator Forum definitely will probably touch on that one day. But yeah, you know, I forgot what district it was that the students got to opt out of the Black History. The teacher was doing Black History stuff. The parents got mad and opted out of Black History. Really,
Yeah.
again, if you ever want to see why we in the same boat 400 years after the fact,
Mm.
that's the type of mentality. But we're
Yeah.
celebrating today, so we're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, because that's a deep conversation, and
Oh yeah.
we got struggles with our own people understanding the value of their own history. So we can go on and on about that. But let's jump into our creators conversation. Our creators conversation today centers around one of our favorite concepts, and that's the concept of joy. And so this is the question: what brings you joy? All right, so pass it over to US Squared. Give me
Before
one or two things that brings you joy.
I give you a couple things, but before that, give us a good definition of joy. When you say joy, what do you mean by joy? What's your definition of joy?
So that's good. That's square. You turned the tables on me
Oh yeah.
with the
Oh yeah.
follow-up question. I think of joy as something that it's like a happiness from within. Yeah, I think I'll leave it there. It's a happiness from within. It's not a periphery type happiness. It's something that's going on in your life that brings you happiness from inside out.
Okay, we gonna work with that. So if I'm gonna go into that, I'm gonna give you my first one. Now being a father, you know, we always want to go first with the kids. You know, we're gonna go with the
Yeah.
kids. And Blake and Vaughn, my boys, my sons, um, when they are in their bag, that is
Mm-hmm.
pure joy. A couple of quick stories. Blake, which is my musician son, he called me one day and wanted to go to Cliff Bell's because some people he knew was playing, and his mama was sweating him a little bit because it was a Tuesday night and she didn't want him downtown Detroit. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what, man? I'll come. Get the sweat off your back so you ain't trying to sneak out from mom and stuff. I'll come and you can go with me. So we went there, and this young lady was playing. It was a bunch of young kids playing. I mean, well, college students playing.
Okay.
Alexis Lombre, that was her name, and she had some people. They were some college students, and they were playing. It was great. And they had a jam session after she did her set. They had a jam session, and I turned around. Blake is going to sign up. I said, "Man, you gonna really do this?" You're gonna play at Cliff Bell. Now, people don't know Cliff Bell. Cliff Bell is a very famous jazz spot,
Yes.
historical value as well in Detroit.
Yeah. Yes.
I am sure David would probably use it as a last drip one day.
When
But
it fits.
so it's a famous jazz spot. And I said, man, you actually gonna play. He went up there and he played a song with him. And you know, when you over 40, man, you can cry on anything. I wanted to cry, but
Indeed.
he did his thing. I said, man, you the man, because I would have never.
Now, how old is Blake?
Blake is 24 now. This was probably around 3 years ago. Cause yeah, he was 21 when we went there. So probably around 3 years ago. So Blake was, yeah. And my other son, Vaughn, the youngest one, Vaughn is my artist. He's the drawer. And when he's in his bag and he's doing his drawing, I can remember telling people at church, leave him alone. I don't know what he's gonna do with this drawing thing. And now he's at CCS, the College of Creative Studies, doing his thing. He's been drawing cars since he can pick up a pencil, and that's what he's doing. And he's trying to make it his living. He's going to do it for a living. So do your thing, Vaughn. And you know, my proudest moment with him, we went to an award ceremony, and Vaughn was a pretty good student. But the thing that touched me, Vaughn wasn't the valedictorian or didn't grab all these awards, but he did get an award for something because he drew something. And his classmates gave him a standing ovation. And everybody came up to me and said how great of a guy Vaughn is. And, you know, just to see that your kids are good people and they in their bag, that's, you know, that's pure joy. I just leave it there. I mean, I got some other stuff too, you know, my music and all the other things, my friends that bring me joy. But, you know, it's nothing like seeing your kids doing what God intended them to do. So yeah, that's what brings me that ultimate joy.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick up what you putting down. Same thing for me. I got 2 sons and I have grandchildren. So, you know, all of those bring me joy. My oldest son has a nonprofit business that he works very hard at, and then he has a for-profit portion of it that he works very hard at. But then he's also growing in this spiritual journey. He's kind of found him a church home. He's got his family going to church, and my granddaughter got to perform. She danced with the liturgical group at her church, and I got to see that video, and that was, like you said, that's the kind of stuff that'll bring you to tears.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah.
And then my youngest son flew in because he was heading out to the Air Force. So my youngest son, Kamari, flew in and got to hang out with him and my oldest son. And we were attending my oldest grandson's basketball game. And that was quite the treat to be there with both of my sons, watching my oldest grandson play basketball. My oldest son was in full daddy/coach mode because my oldest son, Darius, is a coach of basketball as well. So, you know, he was dad on the sideline, but the coach also on the sideline. So, you know, that was quite the treat for me. Again, just kind of bubbling up inside, just having that experience, true joy. But my youngest son going off to the Air Force brings me tremendous joy. He's been out of school for about 3 years now, 21, and kind of trying to figure things out. So this is really an opportunity for him to kind of chart his own path. And, you know, it's just a great opportunity for him to begin a life of his own. So that brings me tremendous joy. And you know, like you said, there's some other things that that I can go into, but none of them really stand up when it comes to the kids. You know, the reciprocity group, of course, whenever we get together, it's a good time. You and I, Shawn, we get together and kick it. And, you know, Black Lit Matters, of course. I think they make every creator's drip.
Right.
But
Right.
yep. And then my son's wife, I'm gonna give her a shout out at the end. She did something spectacular for my son. That's what I wanted to mention. My son, when he came, Kamari came, the one that's 21. My oldest son was turning 30 that weekend. So my oldest son's birthday is February 14th, Valentine's Day. And so I was able to celebrate both my youngest son's birthday and my oldest son's birthday that same weekend. So that was tremendous joy for me. All right. Did you want to add anything else?
I can't add. I will actually add in the next segment. We're gonna roll this now, folks. This is not even planned because you know I didn't know what his joy was gonna be, but you know being the daddy and being a true father, that's hard to beat. To see your kids doing their thing, it's hard to beat to see you doing your thing. So yeah,
that's what it's all about, man.
But definitely.
Yeah, when they become men, that's what it's all about for the dads, to see them boys grow up and to become men. And my oldest son has been a man for a while now. He's raising kids of his own, and he is just a source of tremendous pride and joy for me. But my youngest son is on the way. So yeah, that's my that's what brings me joy for the creators conversation. All right, so you ready to roll in?
Yeah, to see them grow, change, and develop. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. I'm ready now.
Shout out to Jimmy Hammond for that grow, change, and develop. All right, so we'll close out the creators conversation, and we'll go on to our next conversation-based segment of the podcast, and that is our drips of the month. All right. The drip of the month is something that garners some attention to the creators, and we want to bring it up during our podcasts and to celebrate or highlight or pay homage or honor to that particular thing from that particular month. And so in this case, something about the month of February that jumped out to the creators. So S Squared, you taking a lead?
Yeah, I will go first. Okay. Well, Dave, my drip of the month is a father-son duo. And again, this wasn't planned. But I love themes. But this was a father-son duo. Kevon and Kamari Chisholm, and they have a company called Junior Wall Streeters Inc. And what they do is they was teaching a summer camp for Black students to teach them financial literacy and how to invest. And, you know, we've been talking about that a lot, you know, in our Black Lit Matters group. And we talked about investments individually as well as groups and stuff like that. And we've had a couple of podcasts that talked about financial literacy with teenagers and students, K-12 districts and things like that. Yeah. So that was great to see. And it's a father-son duo. And they're doing, like I say, they started off with a summer camp and they did so well. They started doing these weekends thing. And I did see one that their mom jumped in. You know, mom couldn't let the son and father keep everything. The mom jumped in and she did something with them on the weekend things that they programs that they had. So my shout out, and in fact, it was so impressive that I actually went to their website and wrote to them and said, you know, you're going to be our drip of the month. They said, now who the heck are y'all? But maybe they're going to check us out. But that was my drip of the month because, you know, we've been talking a lot about investments, and we've been talking about into how you get that down to the youth to get that wealth gap down. It's about investments and learning. The earlier you learn, the better, you know. So shout out to the Chisholms, and hope to hear great things from them. So,
Yeah.
drum roll, please, Davis. Drip of the month.
All right. So I want to chime in a little bit about what you said. We've talked about financial literacy, and there's this push to get financial literacy in our public schools. But I like the fact that people are taking the initiative, not waiting on school systems to provide what we can provide ourselves, and probably can provide it in a way that matters more. Yeah, good one. S squared. My drip of the month is going to be kind of selfish. It's going to be the Dripping in Black YouTube viewers, and so the last month was kind of a banner month for us, in terms of is relative to us. So, you people that's going to laugh at our numbers, is relative to us. We've seen a significant increase in our viewership over the month. Shout out to Dr. Tanya Spratlin, Tanya Mitchell Spratlin, and shout out to the Secret Society of Twisted Storytellers, Satori Shakur. It seemed like they got a little momentum for us in terms of our viewership. And then our last Creators Drip was the highest viewership that we received. And we followed that with two other dynamic stories, with Sharonda Denise and Damian Kyle Crutcher. Yeah, you went a little Key and Peele on her with the D
Oh
nice.
Yeah, definitely.
And it was funny because when we did our last Creators Drip, you corrected me, and I'm so silly that I took the correction, knowing I had already interviewed her and everything, and said the name the way that it's supposed to be pronounced, but I still was, oh, maybe you're right. Yep. So that's my drip of the month, the Dripping in Black YouTube viewers. We appreciate you all. We appreciate the increased viewership, and we just want to see more and more and more. We are so proud of what we're putting out into the world, sharing these wonderful stories of Black excellence, and it's exciting to get that kind of feedback from viewership, just seeing people jumping on and checking us out. So we'll continue to try to grow, change, and develop, and to draw more and more people in. Tell your friends, family about Dripping in Black. It is a positive podcast that celebrates Black excellence every time we drop an episode. And that's what we're all about.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the final segment of the Creators Drip, and that is Drips on Deck. All right. So I think I'll kick this one off, S squared, if you don't mind.
I'm glad, because I was going to suggest it anyway.
All right. So the drips on deck is, I'm really excited about S squared and myself. We met each other at Inkster High School, and we are doing an Inkster High School series of the Dripping in Black podcast. This was born organically, just watching so many of our former students online and seeing all the wonderful things that they're doing. And, now we have a platform to celebrate them, to have them tell their stories, to promote their businesses, and, just kind of chop it up with some of our former students. So the month of March, I'm sorry, what is it, the month of March?
Nope.
No, we in April. March. Can't be March, the month of March. There go another blooper. The month of April will be dedicated to Inkster High School. We have 5 Thursdays in April, so that will allow us to have 5 Dripping in Black podcast episodes. 4 of those will be centered around our former students and their stories post high school. So I'm excited. we've had quite a few students respond, and they're ready to come on. And we've had even more students respond to the call, but have not done their RSVP, their email. So if you know who you are and you see this podcast, and reach out to us, and we'll try to squeeze you in. But so 4 of the weeks will be driven by the Inkster students, former students, and then we will have one with the staff as well. So I'm really, really excited about that Drips on Deck, and just a great opportunity to celebrate a time in our life where, you know, we really had something special. And I know me looking back on it is even more special to me, having it end the way it did and having a greater appreciation for what we were building out there. So looking forward to that Drips on Deck. All right, S Squared, what's your Drips on Deck?
My Drips on Deck. The first one is since the month of March is Women's History Month as well. I also saw about reading, but Women's History Month, we're doing Women History in the Making is what I'm calling it. And it's going to be our Drip of Excellence, which is geared towards the women. And it's featuring the women alumni of the Dripping in Black. So those will come out on Sundays. They'll come out on Sundays of this month. And it's a Drip on Deck that we'll take an excerpt from their episode talking about empowering the ladies, the young women. The first one, Erica Edwards, will be out on the 7th. Well, it'll be out after, it'll be out way before you'll see this one, but that's the first one. So you can always go back and see it if you haven't seen it already. But
Right.
they will come out on the Sundays of the month. And I have another one that I just did. I just confirmed this one. We're going to do our first Clubhouse chat on podcasting. And again, this will be done before you see this, but there will be more. So I want you to check back with us. There will be more. So I'm doing one on Monday for podcasting. Again, you'll see this afterwards, but hopefully we'll continue to keep that going. So I'm going to learn how to do Clubhouse. And since I'm on spring break, that's the greatest time to do it. I thought I was going to take the week off, but we on a roll. David said, okay, I got an idea. Let's do the Inkster. I've been wanting to do something with Inkster since whenever I got a platform. Now that we got a platform that's up and running, that's a great time to do it because there's a great story. There's a tragic story in there as well. However, we're going to take the good part of it and celebrate those students, because when you say that you cannot get a decent urban education, that is untrue. But you got to be intentional with it, because, and you will hear the story. So the month of April, the whole month of April, we will talk about that story. We will talk about the story of Inkster. So I'm excited about it. Folks, as their math teacher, for a lot of their math teacher, would you please turn in your assignment? Go do that form so we can answer that email so we can get you on and do this.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it.
In a timely manner.
You don't want to miss it. You don't want to be, so, you know, there's the potential that we'll do another Inkster series later on, maybe next year or something like that. But you don't want to miss out on the first one. You know, there's nothing like being a part of the original. So we send it out the call for all Inkster students, former students, and even staff. You know, come on, and we want to hear from you. And we're going to do what we do with the Dripping in Black podcast.
Right. Also, just to add on to your, the last Thursday, we're moving the creators drip down to the last Thursday because that's the one that we're doing with the teachers.
Yeah.
Unless
So
unless David's changed
that. Well, yeah. So we talk things over, and it only changes if Shawn doesn't veto it. If y'all really want to know the true story, so I can only offer suggestions, and if Shawn says okay, then it goes. So that's the true story. Don't believe nothing else.
Please believe something else, because there's very few things that I vetoed. I think
so
that I can recall.
S squared. I wanted to go a little deeper about the drips of excellence, because I don't think we really talked about those in depth. When people, because we have a Dripping in Black channel, the DIBK channel on YouTube, and it has our podcast on there, but it has a lot of other things on there as well. And one of those things are drips of excellence. So explain to the audience what a drip of excellence is.
Drip of excellence, in short, is an excerpt from the entire episode, and it's usually around some theme or something that was very passionate, that the speaker was talking about. So like say, sometimes we look for themes like this month, like this drip of excellence, since it's a special edition, it's the Women's History and the Makings edition. It's on women and how they are contributing them to empowering themselves, and the things that they're doing for other women. And the idea actually came from the last episode that came out, Nataki Hudson's, when she was talking about, she has a home care business. And she said what she gets the most out of is helping the young ladies that work for her. Like she said, she got 81 employees, 78 of them are women. And she said she gets more joy, since we talked about joy earlier, she gets more joy from helping them out. She gave the story about one of the girls that was working because she wanted to get her own place. And she said, I'm going to, I'm keeping money in their pocket. That money is circulating in that community, and, and their women are getting it. So, so that's where the idea came from. And then, so now I'm just going back and grabbing all the drips of excellence. Drip of excellence is probably from 3 to 5 minutes. Again, it's just an excerpt from their entire episode that's focused on something. And like I say, and since I'm doing a special one, since we're doing a special one this month, we're looking at women empowerment. Actually, that might have been a better title if I thought about that earlier. But it's talking about women and what they're doing to help each other out, help the community out.
Yeah, we've had some dynamic guests, male and females, but the women, man, have been off the chain from the very first episode, and like you said, to the last episode that we recorded before this one, and we got some lined up too. So
right, and we are coming to the end of season 1. We haven't decided when that's going to actually be yet. I'm hoping to get through May. I was hoping to get through May. I had a great idea, but it blew up, so it might be May. I was thinking June, but it might be May now. But so we could get ready for the next season, so we could take some time off to generate new ideas, get you some merch out there so you can be dripping in black with us. David, show your shirt.
It's gonna be a dripping in black summer.
David, show your shirt, David.
Yes, but it's gonna be a dripping in black summer. It's gonna be a dripping in black summer. We're gonna do something, and we got a lot of things in the works for dripping in black. So just be on the lookout. If these things start opening up, then we can do more things, in person, and try to get some of our alumni to come out and join us for some of these things. So just be on the lookout for that. But the podcast will the season will end, but dripping in black ain't going away.
Oh, and we giving you something though in the summer, even if it's experimental something. We giving you something during the summer, and we got some other things in the works.
Might get that blooper reel.
I don't know if you'll get the blooper reel, but we got some things. You know, at the end, you say you have experienced a Dripping in Black production. Dripping in Black production might be doing some other things as well, and you might get some dimes dropped on you during the summer.
Yeah. All right, S Squared, another fantastic episode in large part due to your insight. I'm just riding around.
You're the mastermind on this one. We put out a meme. Right. We put out a meme one day about Pinky and the Brain and said, which one's Pinky, which one the brain? And the answer was depending on what we're talking about. So if you don't know who Pinky and Brain reference is, go Google it, please. Pinky and the Brain, one of my favorite modern cartoons.
Yeah, ain't no question about what they're trying to do though. Mm-hmm. We know what they out. We know what they up to every day.
Oh yeah, every day.
Yeah, so that's what we all about. Go ahead and give your shout outs before we get out of here, S Squared.
First shout out, like I said before, and I have not had anybody to pick me up on it, so I've been doing my own thing. I always like to support Black business, whether it's what I'm wearing or whatever the case may be. Today, I was freezing because I was going to do one of my other businesses, but I'm going to do Be On It today, because Be On It is a bad band. Look it up on YouTube, Be On It. I'm trying to think, did Blake hip me to them? Nope, I probably hipped him to them. So, we exchanged, he think he's the genius now. So I give it to him. Because he showed me he told me who Snarky Puppy was, and I clutched onto them and never let them go. That's one of my group. But Be On It is great if you want to listen to some nice music, especially just go look up Be On It. So that's my Black business. Shout out to Darnell Jones, my barber. And the reason why I'm shouting out Darnell Jones, because he donated a bunch of magazines to Black Lit Matters for their vision board party. Yeah. Actually, it's tonight, the night that we are recording this. So hopefully we'll see you all, because we have posted it. But you can always donate to Black Lit Matters. Check it out. It's a dope group giving Black books to Black kids by Black authors with Black characters. So
real change.
They're doing their thing. They are part of the fam. And shout out to Darnell for donating those magazines. And also my friend Sharice Mathis. I just found out this morning she is the assistant dean of students at Albion College. She's leaving Siena Heights as their diversity and inclusion officer to move up the ranks. Shout out, she will be a guest one day as well.
So that sounds like a guest.
Oh yeah. She's a new mother, so that's why I didn't sweat her too much, because looking at her Facebook feed and her running around that the little girl, that's funny. But but I know she's been busy, so yeah, she coming on. I talked to her this morning. So those are my shout outs. David, who's your shout out?
Mine is going to be short and sweet. My shout out has to go to my daughter-in-love, Danielle Lewis. She put together a great video for my son, Darius Lewis, for his birthday. She got the family together and asked them to send a video, and then she compiled those videos and, to give my son, some acknowledgement for making it through the 30 years that he's been on this planet. Just a great gesture by her. They are such a powerful tag team, and he got a good one. So shout out to Danielle Lewis, daughter in love. All right. So at Square, we come to the end. You know what we do here. I'm going to say, be good, be good, be good. It is a choice.
And of course, be well and much love. See you soon. Peace.
You have just experienced a Dripping in Black production.